Hey Cam, what's going on, brother? Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Good evening. Welcome, welcome. Let me get the links up and then we'll get started here. How's everybody doing? Here you go. Your favorite doomer. Glad you're tuning in, brother. 2026 is year of ascending. Don't trip. We're not dooming shit. We're just reality based right now. That's all that's happening. I'm just feeding you reality pills. Okay? There is no dooming going on. If you haven't, get over on Kick. Yeah, Goy gets deleted for some reason. But if you haven't, boys, where is this? Get your mugs. I'm actually surprised just how crazy they've been selling. So peep the top Goy mugs. Dude, these have been a fan favorite right now. I got mine coming in the mail. Hopefully in the next week it should arrive. I can't wait. Let me put that up. Let's go. There you go. It's linked in the chat. I'll pin it. I'll pin it on both here and Kick for now. There we go. Dope. Yeah, I got mine coming in soon. Life is going great, man. Thank you for asking. Okay. Enjoying the collapse. Yeah. Links are in the description, guys, for the mugs. But we'll get started with everything. Not a slop day. I was scrolling last night through some posts, I guess you could say. And I came across one from a dude. He looked like he was mid-30s. And he had, apparently from his description, a decent job, right? Not a loser by any stretch the way he looks. And he writes, this thing that kind of sat with me because I've been thinking about these kind of topics over the past few days. And he wrote that he realized that he was ATM with a heartbeat for this chick and that she didn't really love him, only the lifestyle he provides, right? And then the second he couldn't provide his lifestyle with that chick, well, she disappeared. Okay? Which, by red pill standards, something we've already known for a long time now. And the comments under the post were wild because it wasn't just him. There's hundreds of guys like this saying the same shit for different reasons. It's the same variation of that same exact story, just different names, different cities. It's the same experience that's pouring everything you have, essentially financially, emotionally, into someone else. And then what happens? They see you as a transaction. And they've seen you as a transaction the entire time. This is the conversation that honestly nobody, well, what could you say? Nobody has honestly today. Because the second you bring it up, what do you get called? You call bitter. You get called an incel. You get called a misogynist, whatever. You're just mad that women have standards now. You're a hater. But that's not what's happening here, and everybody with 2 brain cells knows it, right? We've built an entire dating culture around financial extraction, and it's disguised as romance. And then we act confused, right, when men start checking out of this whole charade, this entire system. And that's what's fucking wild about all of this, how far gone we are. Because 10 years ago, the red pill guys were just entering the mainstream. You guys remember saying things like hypergamy? That wasn't something that was in the mainstream vernacular yet. That hypergamy is real, that women date up, that your value as a man is conditional, right? And everybody called them crazy. They called them misogynists, said that they were losers, super fucking bitter, who couldn't get dates, right? Fast forward to today, and everyone is saying that's true. Everything they said that would happen, happened. It's playing out in real time. It's backed by all the institutional data now from dating apps. The culture moved so far past the red pill that we now have teenagers getting jaw implants and fucking snorting meth to stay lean because some 20-year-old streamer told them, right, that their bone structure determines their like entire future. And he's like partially correct. That's what's crazy. That's where we are today. That's the trajectory. We went from, maybe relationships are more transactional than Disney told us to your canthal tilt determines whether you deserve love or not. In the span of like 10 years, we've arrived. And instead of the mainstream, meeting men somewhere reasonable, you could say, in the middle, please, at least perhaps, and saying, yeah, okay, the dating market is kind of broken. Let's talk about it. They completely ignored that shit. They mocked it. And now we're dealing with like the claviculars of the world coming in and bone smashing and kids rating each other's facial symmetry on forums where if you're scoring like below a 5, they literally tell you to give up on life. You're a subhuman. Subhuman 5s. That shit's, bro, we are fucking cooked. Okay. This shit's wild. Just look at the numbers on the financial side. I think BMO just did their annual dating survey. And I think it came out a few days ago. You can check it out. It said that the average cost of a date today was damn near $200. Okay. And it was like something like $150 the year prior. So 12% or so increase in a year. 1 year. That's dateflation. That's literally what they called it. Dateflation. It's kind of funny, except, not. Because half of the people that were polled that were single now say that they can't even financially afford to go on a date. It's not worth it anymore. Dude, like 40, I think it was 47%, if I'm not mistaken. Almost half of single people in the country looked at the cost of trying to go on a date to find love and said, nah, I'm good. I can't pay for that shit. I can't afford it. I'm a sub-5. I'm a subhuman. With a negative cantle tilt. Oh, shit. So, okay. And that's just one date, you guys. One. So, one evening, you're blowing through $200. The average American is spending over $2,000 a year on dates. Millennial men in relationships are averaging $250-something per date, which is basically a fucking car payment. At least that's what car payments, they used to be. They used to be $250. Now the average car payment shot up to like $700. But can you imagine just 10 years ago? And you're spending it on a Tuesday night at some overpriced restaurant, hoping she doesn't order the fucking lobster and then ghost you by next Tuesday, or God forbid your name is saved as, what do they call it? The foodie call. Unreal, bro. So you're going to go pay for a date, spend $200-$300, and then she's going to go over after the foodie call to some dude with a positive cantle tilt, and she's going to get her guts rearranged. while you, the sub 5 subhuman, has to foot the bill. Crazy. That's what's happening. Guys are hemorrhaging money in this fucking system right now. And they're getting nothing in return except like anxiety and, empty checking accounts, for example. 27% of singles had to cancel dates because they wanted to go, but they just couldn't go. Somehow this is normal, guys. Somehow we normalize a system where men have to audition, the jester maxing. I look at that picture. I finally figured out what the fuck jester maxing is. It's got a little meme. It's like a gif of a fucking clown, right? A jester. He's dancing in front of like a princess and she's just sitting there like that. That's what it is. That's the perfect encapsulation of dating today. That's the system. You're auditioning with your wallet at the privilege of being considered for some chick who's at a 4th grade reading level. We're trained to be clowns for people that will never appreciate you're funny. And this is what red pill guys understood early. Hypergamy isn't a theory. It's just observable behavior backed by the data. Women date up. They always have. Evolutionary biology. It is what it is. Okay. The OkCupid data showed it. Women were rating 80% of the men as below average. 80% of men are subhuman to women. You understand? The bottom 80% of men are competing. Think about this. For the bottom 22% of women, while the top 78 percentile of guys, or I should say women, compete for the top 20 percentile of men. This is straight from the internal data, all the research from the dating apps. You understand? And then here's where it gets interesting, because this is where the culture shifted. The red pill said, okay, hypergamy is real. So here's what you do. You got to lift, you got to make some money, you got to build some status, you got to increase your sexual market value, all that stuff, and you got to compete. It's a game, it's a competition. It's brutal, but it was actionable. You had some steps forward that you had to take. There was a path forward. Work on yourself, become the top 20%, or at least as close enough as you could to finally compete with dudes, okay? The black pill looked at the same data and said, nah, it's over. Your genetics are your destiny. If you weren't born with the right jawline, the right height, the right canthal tilt, nothing you do matters. No amount of gym time, no amount of fucking career success will overcome a bad bone structure. And the terrifying part, and this is why I think the black pill is going to win overall, especially in the doomer future we're headed to, is that they're actually right. Think about this. This is why the black pill is winning with young men right now. This is why you have a guy like Clavicular, dude. He's 20 years old. He's making $100K a month on Kick, if not more. And he's telling teenagers to hard max, to fucking take steroids, get jaw implants, smash your bones. I don't know if smashing your bones, I think that's a meme. I don't think smashing your bones actually changes your fucking bone structure. So don't go hammering your fucking head with a hammer, dude. Literally. it's fucking hitting hitting themselves with a hammer in the head, bro. Chill out. Fucking A. Right? Hard maxing. Like that shit's bone smashing is a thing in the vernacular of the common man today. So your shit comes back stronger. Right? The Atlantic, I think, called him like the newest star of look maxing. The dude's on Rolling Stone. The kid is now like a premier figure in the ether now. So this kid is openly admitting to doing meth to stay lean, injecting test, right? He's even injected his underage girlfriend with fat dissolving compounds, apparently, on live stream. I don't know for sure, but this was like what was reported in this article I was just reading about him. Ran over a dude in a fucking Cybertruck, got off free because he look maxed his way out of a court, out of a guilty verdict. This shit is crazy. This is one of the biggest streamers in the country right now. And this is where young men are mentally. You understand? This is the level of desperation. You can run dudes over. As long as you're attractive enough, you have a bias in court. And it's crazy. It is partially true. You could call it bread and circuses. That's true. You could, right? But you can't separate the ATM problem from the like lookism problem either, because they're two sides of the same coin. You have to understand, if you're not in the top 20% genetically, your path to female attention, it does run through your wallet. That's the deal. The guys who are actually attractive enough to get desired for who they are a whole separate category. Everybody else gets to be desired for what they provide. You understand? And the moment what you provide dries up, you're going to find out real quick which category that you were in. Okay? I've seen it. I've seen it with guys in my own community, the smart dudes, the successful dudes, the kind of men who have their shit together. Guys literally making multiple tens of thousands a month, right? Complete. They have their lives together in a measurable way. And they come in and they're wrecked inside because it's the same shit they spend years pouring into relationships where they've been, valued exclusively for their output. The moment they needed something in return, something like support or loyalty or just understanding during a hard season in work, or you're fucking down on your luck for some reason, they got abandoned. This is what you get from women. There's a story I read recently. There's a software engineer, because the AI threat with software engineers. Dude was making great money, been with his girlfriend for 3 years. Dude got laid off, right? Companies restructuring, everything's getting automated and shit. Happens all the time in tech. Within 2 months, she was gone. 3 years of dates, vacations, gifts, right? Covering her car insurance, covering over half of everything, paying for a majority of her shit, funding the lifestyle. She saved her money that entire time. And the moment his income stopped, she discovered she wasn't happy anymore and that she needed to find herself, apparently. And she found herself real quick, too, on some dating app with another dick to jump on that same week. This is the fucking story of life, bro. Okay? And the story is everywhere if you look. It's the default. This is the default experience of men, of a huge number of men. We just don't talk about it. Because, again, you'll get called bitter. You'll get called, you got a problem, you're a misogynist, incel, whatever. Let's zoom out a little bit. Because this goes out beyond individual relationships, you could say. So, when you tell an entire generation of men that their value is their wallet and that they're disposable, and the second their utility drops, and then simultaneously show them data proving that the top 20% of men get 80% of the female attraction, what do you think happens? Some of them will try to buy their way into relevance. That's your ATM guy. And some of them will try to surgically alter their fucking way into the relevance. That's your look maxing guy. And a growing number of dudes just stop playing entirely. Okay, the Kinsey Institute, they did a study, dude. It came out last year. You could go read up on it right now. This is the average single man in America went on fewer than 2 dates in the entire year, dude. 2. Over half. Over half of singles spent $0 on dating. You understand? That's nothing. 0. They are completely opted out. The whole system is collapsing, and the response from the mainstream culture is to blame men. Oh, they need to step it up, be a real man. They need to be emotionally available, right? Nobody ever asks what they're stepping up into, though. Step up for what? Whores with 100 bodies? Step up for what? Getting cucked out by the IRS? A society that hates me? Where? A job that won't hire me because what's in between my legs? What am I stepping up for? Right? The dating market, most young men will tell you, has become a losing proposition especially for the average guy. And that's just average, dude. We're not talking about a subhuman, sub-5 subhuman. Just average, okay? Because even a guy that would be marked 7 out of 10 is considered unattractive. Women only want the top 2 dudes. The top 80%, okay? Technically the top 3, 8, 9, and 10. So you're a 7 and below, you don't exist. You don't even show up on any of this. You're literally just a walking wallet. It's true. The costs, bro, on all sides. Think about the cost. For a woman, nothing. A woman just shows up. For a man, everything. It costs you literally everything. It's so tilted that you're the one that has to pay for everything. And the benefits, guess who gets them all? The other side does. So for you, like a seesaw, you're paying for everything, and then one side takes absolutely everything. The math just doesn't fucking work anymore. That's what it is. You got guys spending $2,000, fucking $300, $4,000, $5,000 a year on dates, And they can't even afford their own rent. You got guys taking fucking loans out for engagement rings because TikTok told their bitch anything less than 2 months salary and you don't love her and shit. So you got guys spending tabuku money for nothing for a woman that don't appreciate them. And then you have this fucking nut job, the new dudes that are coming in doing like knee lengthening procedures and fucking, or leg lengthening, or, you know, jaw implants for like 20 racks or whatever the fuck those cost. Because a streamer is snorting meth, and no shade at clavicular, but that shit's funny as fuck, dude. A streamer that snorts meth told you that this is, you know, this is the only way you're going to make it, bro. Your mandible is like holding you back long term. And for what, dude? A coin flip at best, right? Whether the relationship even lasts into the long term. And for most guys, it won't. It just doesn't, because there's always a better dude around the corner. Think about that shit. And then you'll lose what? The house, the retirement, the savings. And she gets to see what? All of it go in her direction and get the kids. And you might not even see the kids even for the weekend. Like, this is the most lopsided deal ever, right? So the system quite actively punishes men who are the ones that are investing in it. And then it calls them defective for not wanting to invest anymore. It's like casinos that pay out like 80% of your winnings, for example, and then it'll run an ad calling you a coward for not playing. Don't be a pussy, bro. Take all your winnings and keep playing. So what? We could take the rest? That's insanity. So how do you break the cycle, essentially? Because that's what, I think that's probably, to get out of the doomer mentality, we should talk about that, right? Not just diagnosing the problem. We've done that. We already know how fucked up things are, but, you know, and everybody can see the problem at this point. The question is, what do you actually do about it? If you're a man living in like this reality today, right now, and this is where I have to be honest with you guys, dude, it's going to piss a lot of people off. Okay, the red pill is mostly right. Hypergamy, it's real. Your value as a man in this sexual marketplace, it is conditional at best. Women do date up. The data backs it. Okay, the lived experience backs it. And, you know, pretending otherwise is how you end up broke and confused. Wondering, like, what the fuck happened to your relationship? Okay. If you've been in the dating market for any length of time, you already know this in your gut. Even if you don't have the vocabulary for it, you don't know what dread is, hypergamy is, it doesn't matter. You felt it. Okay. Now, where the red pill falls apart is that it turns you into like a performance monkey. If you could think of it that way. You spend your entire life optimizing for female approval, which is a losing proposition. You're lifting for her, you're earning for her, you got to hold frame for her. You understand? Your entire existence becomes a response to what women want. And how do I become that, essentially? You're still dancing for somebody else. You're still jester maxing. You're just doing it with better choreography, if this makes sense to you guys. Okay? Now, the black pill is also mostly right about something nobody wants to say out loud. Also, okay, looks matter more than the self-improvement guys want to admit. A lot more. Especially on apps where your face is your first and sometimes only filter for chicks. A 6'3" guy with a good jaw, right, will outperform a 5'8" guy that reads 12 fucking books a month and he makes $200K. That shit doesn't matter on dating platforms. That exists. That's real. You're getting mogged, as the kids like to say. Everybody knows this. Pretending it's not true is fucking coke, dude. So, where the black pill falls apart is that it takes a partial truth and it turns it into a death sentence for dudes. Yes, genetics matter. They've always fucking mattered, okay? Your grandfather, essentially, wasn't online measuring his fucking cantle tilt with a protractor. He went outside, he talked to people, he lived in a community. He met women through social proximity, mutual connections, all that shit, instead of like algorithms designed to make the top 5% of men feel like gods and the bottom 80% like subhuman garbage, okay? The black pill is what happens when you let dating apps define your worth as a human being. This is why cold approach usually works better for most men. In-person body language is 80% of communication, 70% of communication. So here's where I land with all of that shit, right? And I don't think, you know, this is as comfortable, but it is true. You are never going to be unconditionally loved by a romantic partner. That was always a lie, the Disney shit. Your mother might love you unconditionally. Your dog does, right? A woman, you could say A woman that you sleep next to every night loves you for what you bring to her life and how you make her feel. And if both of those things disappeared tomorrow, she would eventually leave. That's just how it works, guys. Accepting that isn't nihilism. It's not like it's over. It's not doomer. It's just clarity. And clarity is where you stop being a mark in the game. Because that's what an ATM mentality makes you, a mark. You're a sucker at the table who doesn't know he's the sucker. You keep feeding the machine because somebody told you eventually it'll pay out, and it never does. It was never designed to. The only difference between you and a guy at a slot machine is that the slot machine doesn't pretend to love you back. You understand? And then you start to vet for reciprocity from day one. Okay, not after 6 fucking months when you're already emotionally invested and you spent thousands of dollars. I'm talking day one. Does she offer to split the check? Does she cook for you? Does she bring something to the table besides presents? Because showing up is not a fucking contribution. You showed up too. Nobody's getting a prize for being there. I'm saying look for effort. Look for someone that gives a shit, right? Gives a shit about what you're trying to build and wants to build it with you. Instead of someone who wants to move into the finished house and then complain about the fucking paint color. Are you hearing me? And you have to be willing to walk away. The moment you lose the ability is the moment you become the ATM. The guy who will tolerate anything because he's afraid of being alone is the guy who gets extracted from every single time. It's like a universal law. And there's nothing bitter about walking away from a bad deal, dude. It's okay. Sunk cost fallacy. It'll be better in the long term. You wouldn't sign a business contract that gave you all the risk and none of the reward, would you? So why would you sign up for a relationship that does the same thing? Oh, because the power of the taco can't see straight? You're better than that. And honestly, more than any of that, just invest in yourself before you invest in anyone else. I'm talking about like real investment here too. Not jaw fucking implants, okay? Not smashing your fucking face in with a hammer or getting on steroids just because some kid on Kick who can't buy a drink legally, by the way. He's not even 21 yet, dude. But his pool is unmatched for the moment. And that's where they're getting their cues from, right? Or getting told that your fucking orbital rim is holding you back. That shit doesn't matter. Get your body right through actual discipline. Get your money right through actual work. Figure out. Think about this, where you could actually want to be in 5 years. Then you chart the course forward. Build a network of guys. It's more important now than ever to have a real friend group. It's harder than ever to find them, but it's a lifesaver. Men do not have social networks. It's fucking pathetic. It quite literally dulls you mentally. Iron sharpens iron. You need to be around other men to keep you sharp. It is what it is. Okay? Who do you have to call when shit around you is collapsing? It won't be your woman, dude. It'll be the guys, okay? 15%. Think about this. 15% of men now report having 0 close friends. A quarter of young men feel lonely most of the day. And that's according to Gallup. And the response is, well, you know, not everybody could get a girlfriend. That's because they don't have a girlfriend. No, dude. That's because men have been taught that their only source of emotional connection should be from a fucking romantic partner. And when that falls apart, they have nothing. No wonder the black pill's like resonating with everybody. If your entire emotional fucking world depends on one person and they leave, of course you think it's over, bro. Okay, you have to have guys in your life who you can actually talk to, who would show up for you when you called at 2 a.m., no questions asked. I need to bury a body and I need help now. Done, brother. On the way. No questions. That's the infrastructure of a good life, you guys. That's a relationship with a woman should think of it like it's a bonus, it's a cherry on top. That's not the whole foundation of your life. And the man who builds his life that way, who has some purpose and people around him and something he's working towards, he's not going to tolerate being treated like a fucking vending machine because he has a life he actually enjoys. And adding someone is optional to that. Right? This cycle of transactional love, it breaks when men stop accepting the terms. Every guy who gets treated like an NTM accepted that role somewhere along the way. And every kid staring at a reflection, measuring his fucking jawline with a ruler accepted a different kind of lie. Both of them handed the power over to someone and they called it normal. You understand? Nobody's coming to fix any of this shit for you. The culture doesn't give a fuck about you. You're a man. The algorithms don't care. She definitely doesn't care, bro. You're either going to figure it out or you're going to keep playing this fucking game. That's the rat race you got to escape from. So I'll leave you guys with that. That's our opening monologue for our live stream. Nike had a slogan marketing in the 90s, Bonos. Yeah. Yeah. A good friend group quite literally changes everything. That doesn't mean you have to hang out with the guys every day, but believe me, you go hang out with the boys once, and if you show up a little fat, you showing up a little off your mark, they'll call you out on it. And that is exactly why we say make masculinity great again. It's not a fucking joke. You'd be surprised, dude. Even if it's online, you have to start somewhere. Like that's why I recommend guys get in the private community. We actually talk about shit like this in the community. I'm in there 3 times a week, guys. We're having calls directly on Zoom with everybody. Yeah. Eat clean, treat your body right, do all the things you need to do. We already know. It's just, it's hard to stay accountable in a world that wants you to be weak and soft. Friends are not a mirage. You're dooming, bro. Calm down. Friends are a lot. So. Friends are a vibe check in the world? Yeah. Fat boy. Yeah. Yeah, you need people to call you out. Sedation is a problem. Some song a dude recommended. This is sugar-free before I get shit, by the way. All right. Yes. This is my cheat meal, if you believe me. This is what I cheat with. Yes, there's slop here. There's like blue fucking whatever. Okay, I am poisoning my body. This is as close as we're getting to perfection, all right? It's sugar-free. Jesus Christ. I am on a cut. It's going fine. I promise you. I swear. We're doing good. Someone said do body armor instead. Which one? Did they have a 0? I saw some of that. I do need to get... Listen, I do need better electrolytes. I fucking am too lazy. I have them downstairs. The cut's going fine. I promise. Look. I'm sitting down. Trust me. We're getting it done. I told you 2026 we're ascending. Okay? This is 0. Besides the blue shit in there. Okay. But we're doing it. It's no joke. Wait until you see 6 months from now. First we're cutting and then we're going to go on a bulk. And I'll teach you guys how to do this. But first I have to do it myself. You got to lead first. You have to lead by example. I'm not going to tell you guys how to take care of your body unless I'm doing it and I can show it. Yeah, who knows what kind of cancer that blue shit's giving me. It's fine. That is true. Your body does detect artificial sweeteners. So I do get the... What is it? Fuck. It's escaping my mind. Insulin. You do get a spike in your insulin. Yeah, there you go. I'm trying, dude. I got to get rid of coffee too. So this is from the shop next to me. And of course it has processed garbage milk. These 2 things are the last thing in my diet, I swear. That is absolute shit for me. It's just this. Coffee, these fucking things. I already have a replacement electrolyte for this. I'm too lazy to mix it in the water. That's my own fault. I'm being a bitch. Okay. Coffee, we're working on it. Haven't found some nice teas. If you guys know any loose leaf tea websites that have high quality shit without fucking plastic in it, especially Japanese green tea, hit me up. Please email me because I'm trying to buy that right away. I would rather enjoy a tea than this shit. But again, being a bitch, full accountability, ho shit. Okay, goy. The goy, I'm goying up right now. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm being a bitch ass goy. It is what it is. Some bitch ass goy shit. It is what it is, bro. I don't know about yerba, mate. Mama ain't raised no goy. All right. So we're letting the bloodline down. All right. Top goy mugs right here. For those that haven't gotten, we will shill some products because we don't shill garbage ass lotion or trimmers or whatever gay shit YouTubers are doing. If you guys want to buy some merch, dude, it's pinned in the comment section. Please get your goy, top goy mugs. I can't wait to get mine. I'll put some tea in there. And if not, we also have Hoflation mugs. Ta-da. Look at that. Beautiful. It's also a classic. All right. So on the heels of our opener, let's see what we got here. So the age of family is over. So let's see if this backs up our opener. You can't build a family in a culture that profits from destroying it.
You can't build a family in a culture that profits.
Is he a doomer? Let me play some super chats if I missed any. I saw one or two. Every time I see a woman with too many tattoos, I automatically assume she's been trained by a biker gang. Appreciate the 5, brother. And thumbs up. All right. All right.
From destroying it. And somehow deep down, every man already knows that. He feels it in the silence after a court hearing. He feels it in the empty apartment with the half-built crib. He feels it when he looks at pictures of his child he didn't get to take. There's this haunting awareness now that what used to be sacred has been converted into currency. Marriage, parenthood, family, these aren't sanctuaries anymore. They're markets. And the people who control those markets have no incentive to see you succeed. They make money off of your pain.
This is a bit doomer,
They profit when you fail. They not only survive, but they thrive off of your collapse. Because a stable man doesn't need much. But a broken man, he'll spend everything he has trying to feel whole again.
I have to speed this up.
Let's talk about what this really is. It's not a system. It's an industry. Family court isn't about families. It's about funding. Title 4D of the Social Security Act literally rewards.
Damn, that's good. You fought for your kids for 3 years, finally got primary custody. They have children now of their own, and they don't talk to their mother. Phooey. How much money did you spend to win that?
States for collecting child support. For every dollar collected, they get reimbursed by the federal government. For every dollar they get kickbacks from the federal government. The more they collect, the more they get.
At Maryland Guy Iest sent $9.99. As someone who is 5 feet 7 inches and average looking, I've actually done better in real life. On the apps I got nothing. That's where I think the black pill is right, when women only have photos to go by.
Yeah, that's the digitized economy we're living in. Even dating got digitized. It turned into a commodity online. So when you're this is why look maxing wins online, because that's literally look. All that matters is looks online. Look, they matter in person too. Let's not bullshit ourselves, of course, but there's something different about approaching somebody in person with body language and, you know, the dopamine reception you get from speaking in person with somebody versus like, you know, this kind of swiping action and shit.
So if you think about it, the way that it works is the less time a father has with his child, the more money the state makes. That's how it works. The more conflict there is, the more hours lawyers bill. The more supervision, the more evaluators get paid. It's not a mistake. It's a model. It's a business model. They've built a machine that needs broken homes to survive. And the moment that you enter that machine, your pain becomes someone else's paycheck. That's why reform will never fix it. You don't reform a casino by asking it to pay back its winnings. But here's the thing. The destruction didn't start in court. It started in the mind. We were trained generation by generation to see the family as optional. Commitment as outdated, and tradition as oppressive, and love as disposable. Every show, every ad, every song, every movie, it all glorifies freedom through detachment. But that kind of freedom isn't freedom. It's consumerism disguised as liberation. Because when you detach people from each other, you attach them to systems, to subscriptions, to governments, to markets. You can't sell to families who take care of each other. You sell to individuals who feel alone. And when you look around, you realize loneliness isn't an accident. It's the new economy. We've built a culture that glorifies comfort over courage, and emotion over endurance, safety and security over sovereignty. And in that trade, it became expendable. We told boys that masculinity was dangerous, so they hid it. We told fathers that authority was abuse, so they surrendered it. We told men that leadership was control, so they abandoned it. Now we have a society of unanchored children trapped in adult bodies, guided by algorithm instead of fatherhood. And when you remove the masculine principle, the protector, the builder, the anchor, you create chaos. Because men, they don't just hold the line, they are the line. A culture without fathers becomes a culture without boundaries.
Yeah, pretty much, right? 2x speed.
And a culture without boundaries becomes a marketplace of emotion.
At 1.5.
That's how we got here. Through erosion. Through the slow rot of conviction replaced by compliance. And there is a deeper layer to all of this. Beyond laws and beyond politics, it's existential. When you destroy the family, you destroy meaning. Because the family is the smallest unit of civilization. The first structure where sacrifice, responsibility, and love actually coexist. Without that, you have no initiation into adulthood. You have no hierarchy of values. No reason to suffer nobly. And whenever suffering loses meaning, nihilism fills the void. Look around, you can feel it. People don't believe in anything anymore. Not in love, not in truth, not even in themselves. We replaced wisdom with information. Virtue with branding. And purpose with distraction. You can't build families in that soil. It's infertile. It's radioactive. So what's a man supposed to do?
All right.
He's
Prescription
told
time.
to marry, to build, to provide. But every institution that once honored that now punishes it. He's told to risk everything for love, but love is now a legal contract he can't afford to lose. He's told to protect his family, but the state can strip that family from him in a single ruling.
Bro.
He's told to be there for his child, but only on the days someone else allows.
All right, let's go to the spike here. What
The
do we
worship
got?
of autonomy over belonging, of feeling over truth. And that's just what makes it unsustainable for the human race. Because no species can survive if it hates the conditions that make life possible. Family, structure, continuity.
Yeah, but who is they? Who is the society he's talking about? Who's doing this?
The modern...
Why is it happening? Like, do people understand why this is happening? It's because the moneyed interest, the elites, the actual business class. This is why you're not going to get your 20 million deportations. Here's how it works. Americans want a high salary, a living wage. They want health care. They want good working conditions. That shit's expensive. Now, the people that pay for the campaigns for which the popular vote you inject yourself in, like Trump or whoever else, and you feel like you have a choice, they've already made their decision on what the policy will be before that guy gets into office. Here's what happens. You're not going to get your 20 million deportations because we are a debt-driven, growth-based economy. And 20 million or 50 million migrants, how many there are here total, represents a massive chunk of economic growth, both in slave wage labor and, for the Democrats, a voting bloc. You understand? So when they start doing deportations and the pockets of the business elite start hurting, they wind it back. Okay? This is why early on in the whole deportation process and all this political shit you were hearing about, they allowed the farmers, the farm hands to stay, the farm workers and the hospitality that were all illegal. So crime, you broke the law to come in the country, you're still illegally here, and a criminal act of hiring an illegal. The businesses never got punished. Did you notice that? Because if you find businesses that hired illegals, a lot of illegals would just disappear back to their countries because there's no work. But they let illegals stay because what do illegals do that Americans don't? Work for cheap, don't ask for raises, don't care about health care, and never complain to any authorities about working conditions. So who makes a better wage cuck slave for a corporation? Immigrants do. That's why nothing will ever happen in terms of migration. That is why amnesty will be given to them. This is why you can't afford things. This is why you're dooming. This is why it's too expensive to buy a house. All these people, these 50 million people, this is why wages are stagnating, but productivity goes up. Part of the reason you're not reproducing, you're a stressed animal and everything seems doomed out of its mind and jobs don't pay enough to survive and you can't afford houses and the women are going crazy, is because you have 50 million illegals that are completely destroying the value, the whole providing aspect of what a man brings to the dating market. That's what. If a man is valued based on his protection and provision, well, the protection part you can use, you can work on that irrespective of anybody that comes into the country, become as strong as you possibly can. But the earning part of that changes the fucking variables dramatically. That equation is completely different now with 50 million people in the country that shouldn't be here. Now, I won't make it too political, but let's just say recently there has been meetings with all these Democrats and Republicans, and they were told by all these AI company executives that we're about to enter in the age of automation. So you won't even need all these bodies anymore. This is why you've seen Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama recently talk about the tone changed dramatically at the same time, that we won't need mass immigration anymore, and that it was destabilizing. Why is that? Because automation is going to replace people. And what did the Democrats figure out on their side, well, their voter base is going to shrink infinitely to the point where they'll never win another election again. Because the people they're importing are no longer needed to be imported. Because the business class is now going to automate everything and have maximum profit. Very little margin. That's great for business. So, hey, for the first time ever, mass immigrants are no longer great for business. So that's a model the Democrats can't use anymore because those are the people funding them. Hey, look at that. That's crazy.
West is committing demographic suicide by choice. Not just through war or famine, but through ideology. And it's being
Big
sold
business,
as freedom.
baby.
Every time somebody says that we need to bring back the family, I wish it were that simple. I wish it were. But you can't build something on the ruins of trust.
Yeah, see, the problem is with these kinds of videos is their understanding is too narrow. It's like superficial, dude. He sees women, like a bull sees red. It's like women broke the contract. Women have done this. Well, the promises of marriage are no longer there. It's like, yeah, dude, but who instituted this change? Like, dive a little deeper, please. Let's go multiple layers down beneath the surface on what's actually caused the dating market, what actually made life expensive. Who gets to institute these rules? Who benefits the most from this situation? It's like we never dive that deep, bro. It's feminism. It was women. Oh, yeah, dude? You ever heard of the haves and the have-nots? It's a big club. You ain't in it. Think those people give a fuck? They're immune to any of these changes.
You cannot ask men to invest their lives, their money, their sanity into a system that's designed to extract it. You can't tell them to risk everything and then blame them for being cautious. We used to call the man who provided and protected a hero. We don't anymore. Now he's a liability, a walking lawsuit, a future defendant or plaintiff.
Jesus Christ, bro, just kill yourself. Fucking hell, if we're going to be this doomery. Does it get better, please? Let's try this.
He doesn't ask for closure, he becomes it.
Oh my God, bro. Are we talking in like Grok here? This is like AI writing. He doesn't ask for closure, he becomes it. He's not gay, it was just a tip. If the balls don't touch, it doesn't count. What the fuck are we watching here, dude? It never gets better.
And while the rest of the world scrolls through distractions, he's out there doing what men have always done when civilization rots. He rebuilds. One act of strength, one act of love, one act of truth at a time.
Oh my God, we're getting into crazy platitudes here. Holy fuck. Hey, dude. I wish you the best of luck. Okay. I can't. I can't, dude. This is too doomery. I'm on the up and up. I'm ascending. My fucking abs are coming in. I'm about to have vein on the lower abs. And then I'm going to fucking bulk and we're going to be shredded at 200. My wife's hot. I'm making money. And I'll never be a victim. I can't. I can't, dude. You're going to have to hit me with something else. Let's get shredded together, boys. Yeah. This is slop. This is goy slop for me right now. I'm in a different mental state. I can't get slop. I can't get goyed up. This guy's goying me down right now. I can't get goyed down. I can only get goyed up. All right? In other news, let's pivot to something funny. This dude said I was just like you until I got divorced. Well, just listen, this is a little funny one. This is a little funny one.
And so what Larry discussed here was perhaps just the tip of the iceberg, 10%. And so imagine he's...
Hey, so Larry met his chick in Dubai. Funny enough, he's married to a Serbian like me. Except I didn't meet mine in Dubai. But he's got a crazy past and it gets uncovered here. I don't know how much of this shit is true, but dude, it's not looking good.
Revealing this, but add a 0 to how much more crazy shit is going on.
How do you go from Larry, self-confessed sex addiction, to long-distance relationship?
Well, she starts lots of news.
What kind of news? Her with other men? I'm just asking.
And she has been such an integral part of that with the sex addiction. And
Such an integral part of my sex addiction.
how I found a way to blow all my money on sex addiction.
And so he managed to spend all of his money. Larry Wheels, he has a lot of money, millions of followers. He spent all of it. And he's in Dubai. There's no stripping clubs.
I'm not making the sound effects, bro. That's not me. I swear. I chilled out. Okay? Okay, that was me.
None of that stuff. And so how did he manage to spend all his money? And we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars each and every month. That's the kind of addiction we're referring to. And it's not from gambling. He wasn't watching Togi back then. It's from his addiction.
The worst thing I had to deal with in Dubai, because it was like near impossible to get out of that habit. It was legitimate addiction, just like porn addiction, only way worse.
Way worse than being addicted to corn. And remember, he's in Dubai. They're kind of like in Dubai, it's a bit more secretive. You can't do things in public. I mean, I was there with Mepsigram. She kissed me and they told her to stop. What do you mean? You kiss his cheek in public? Leave that for the room. And so imagine how expensive it is, especially in Dubai, when women there expect you to be a multimillionaire. And so imagine how much it would cost for these girls to scratch his itch, so to speak.
Oh no, dude, what the fuck is it? Oh my Lord. Listen, there's something weird that happens when guys finally are bagging bad bitches and you get a really hot one. And it's like you have the need to show off, right? Show your trophy off. Show everybody what you can catch. It's like what Patrice O'Neill was talking about with the fish and the fishermen. You show your boys, everybody, hey, take a look. Take a look. Yeah, nice. And then you release. There's catch and release protocols here. Larry caught and kept his. Larry's in trouble. Now, that would have been a nice catch and release. Hey, some pictures, proof, we're doing it. That's good. Oh, Larry's on another level. He's smashing dimes. Great. Cool story. He kept that one, though. And unfortunately, he's getting cucked out of his mind. Every clip I'm seeing is like getting cucked out of his mind. The shit she says makes him look worse. Like he's not in control, doesn't have a prenup. What else? She's over here talking about other dudes. Said she's actively not interested, would have not been interested if he wasn't making a minimum $1 million a year or some shit like that. Bro, it's just on and on it goes. Why? And this is why. Guys go through this shit because it's a self-esteem thing. You gotta show dudes that you're a real man by the bitches you're bagging. Inevitably, this wrecks your relationship because it's inevitable that some woman is gonna say some stupid shit on the internet that makes you look like an idiot. She should have been at home. Stay your ass at home, cooking and cleaning, kitchen, watching the kids, making sure the house is maintained. Let Larry do the internet shit. Okay? You don't see me parading around my woman on the fucking internet for everybody. And believe me, I thought about that too when we first met. Let's make content. Dudes are going to see I'm doing everything I said I was doing. My woman is fucking dime piece. It's going to be great. Proof. And then you really think about, wait a second. Like, is this protecting your family? Is this protecting your privacy? Is this good for you? And what if it doesn't work in the future? And then also, you're risking her now to the eyes of the internet and all the fucking weirdos on the internet. Imagine all the shit the fucking people on the internet are going to start saying. All right, you think women have the mental fortitude to handle some of the shit you see on the internet? So it's like not a good idea. if you're a man and you truly care about your woman, your wife, whatever, it's like not a good idea to put them in front of the camera. Do this shit the way like Joe Rogan does. How many of you know who Joe Rogan's wife is or his kids, what they look like, anything about his family? Nobody knows a fucking thing, and that's the way it should be. That's what I'm saying.
So to speak.
Right, paying for videos and photos. And
what kind of videos and photos cost hundreds of thousands of dollars? I'm asking you.
Sometimes I just want to jerk off. I want to be alone, jerk off, and I want to have sex sometimes. I found myself on those websites with a super high libido, and I fucked myself.
Quite literally. And so oftentimes he doesn't want to be with someone else.
Jesus
he
Christ.
wants to watch videos. And now you know what kind of videos. Videos of his partner, his girlfriend, his wife doing these explicit acts with other men, aka being a cuck.
But my fiance, I gave her full transparency with my bank accounts, so she sees exactly where I'm spending my money, and it works.
He gives her full transparency with his bank accounts. Now, see, that is one of the things that a cow does. They'll give their access codes, their passwords, and so on to these women who will exploit them for all that they're worth. And so I've seen these videos. They're saying, you know, I got $500,000 from this man. And they'll say, I took him for every cent that he has. He had an addiction. And so they'll be interviewing the girl and they'll say, well, don't you feel guilty?
Oh, he's a pay pig. Yes, this is what pay pigs do. I get it now. Yeah, he's a pay pig.
About that? And they'll say, well, he wants it. Like, he wants to feel exploited. He wants me to abuse him.
Yeah, that's the pay pig shit. Like, we've seen pictures of guys will give up their bank accounts, give up their credit cards. Like, women will spend their money absolutely on anything and everything. And that's a weird turn on for them, to lose control, to be used. That's a pay pig. You guys look it up. Google pay pigs. Bro, these dudes think I'm playing. Pay pigs. Pay pigs or financial submissive. Look at this shit. Fin subs or money slaves are individuals in a financial domination relationship who gain sexual or psychological gratification from giving money and gifts to a financial dominant, a findom/goddess. This BDSM subculture focuses on humiliation, control, and voluntary financial surrender. Key roles: pay pigs often refer to themselves as cash piggies, human ATMs, or money slaves, bro. What? Holy shit. Voluntarily submitting their finances, which he did that, to a dominant figure who may insult, which she insults him all the time, dominates him. Motivations: the relationship is based on power dynamics where the act of losing money or being drained provides a thrill or psychological satisfaction for the submissive. Listen to this shit. The term is explored in documentaries like Pay Pigs, which examines the psychology and the dynamics of this subculture. Oh my lord. This is crazy. The practice is centered on consent and the exchange of money for the psychological experience of being dominated financially. Yeah, so that makes sense. Holy shit. Wow. A comprehensive guide to finding pay pigs. What the hell? No way. No way, bro. It's in, oh, holy shit. This is like a predatory website to find pay pigs. It's crucial to understand who pay pigs are in order to find them successfully. Pay pigs are people who enjoy supporting others financially. Bro. I said supporting others financially, yeah? Okay. Normally, in the name of fiscal dominance, in many cases, the relation is mutual and brings both parties mental fulfillment. Holy shit, we're discovering things live right now. Although this strong may seem captivating. What the fuck, bro? It needs to be understood. Here are a few the pay pigs' key traits. Urge for control. Some pay pigs find it easy to give up their economical handle. Establishing believe. Bro, can they fucking spell? You mean belief? A strong relation between a pay pig and their caregiver is essential. Pay pigs typically seek a connection based on financial Okay, so where do you find pay pigs? Number one place, social media. Pay pigs often interact with societies dedicated to monetary domination on platforms like Twitter and Instagram. Many sites precisely target this segment with dedicated platforms. Clients frequently have the option of creating characteristics that reflect, online communities and forum. Reddit, of course, Reddit. And communities have subreddits and strands dedicated to financial dominance, giving pay pigs a dominant place to join. Oh my lord, bro. Hold on. Reddit pay pigs. We are going down the deep end here. Pay pigs support group. How many people are in here? 100,000 people are in this community. What the hell? What the hell is this? Even in the moments of your craziness or sickness or whatever it may be, I understand you. The type of understanding is hard to come by, and me and you worked on this part together. It took a long while, but me and you understand each other. What the fuck, psychobabble? It's like we can read each other's eyes and we can see 1,000 words and feel none are said. What? So you being a good owner isn't about you give me good feelings about my fetish or kinks. It's like never that surface. It's a more ingrained understanding of each other that makes you my owner, queen, and best friend above all else. What the fuck? Oh my God. What the fuck am I reading? Wish list. What? Time wasters are part of the game. The most expensive but best way to make a best friend. What the hell? Okay, we got to go by can I go by top? What are some of the top posts here? How do you do this again? Best top. Let's do this year. No, all time. There's got to be cringe shit here. Why are y'all getting any subs? A brutal honesty guide for Findom Doms. Oh shit, they got a drought going on. Listen to this. So subs are the dudes, right? Okay. Your least favorite sub is back on her soapbox with a PSA for the Doms. I keep seeing Doms complaining about the drought of subs, saying things like, we're all the good pay pigs. Or subs are so flaky these days. And while, yes, subs can be unreliable, a lot of you are your own worst enemy. And actually, the reason you're not getting or attracting any serious sub. What the fuck, dude? Listen to this shit. Your profile is drier than the Sahara and deader than a dodo. If your entire profile consists of bow down and tribute loser, real subs pay, or Cash App queen scammer, then congrats, you've contributed absolutely nothing of making yourself stand out. There are literally thousands of DOMs saying the same thing. We're fucking cooked, dude. This is real. You have no charisma. So a sub actually messages you, great, what's your response? Pay or go away. $50 to talk. Cash App tag. Again. What the Or even worse, if you message subs and come out with stuff like pay up piggy. Oh my lord, dude, guys are doing this for real? I can already hear some of you saying, but I'm the prize. Sure. But even luxury brands advertise. Chanel doesn't just sit there expecting customers to manifest at their doorstep. You wonder why women are this delusional, bro? Do you see the kind of shit that they're talking about? What the fuck?
GG6JZ sent $5. I should get into this and make tons of money off subs too. How do I do this as a guy?
I don't think you can. Tips on hunting down a pay pig. This subreddit is supposed to be a support group for guys who are into findom. I want Redditors annihilated from planet Earth. What this group really is for to gather all the findoms together and make it convenient for potential doms to pick. Yes, the jig is up. All my posts here are bait. What? We need to eradicate Redditors from planet Earth. I'm convinced. Holy shit, dude. Female pay pig. Oh, shit. I'm a female pay pig, and I love spoiling girls. God damn it. See? You see? It's not for men. Okay? It's not for men, bro. We were so close. We are so close, dude. There's no winning. It is what it is. Oh, shit. It says, I even spoil a few kings, but my biggest drain is hot girls, especially when they're friends. All right, maybe there is a shot for you, ABCD. Maybe there is. Maybe. This is crazy. All right, we're getting off of this shit. I can't believe where the fuck we ended up. Pay Pig support group, guys. All right. We'll leave that for a thumbnail later. And a really good one here. So, making money no longer makes sense. On a brighter note, let's talk about some man shit. Let's get into it. This is from Paul Walnuts.
So at the same time that Harvard grads can't land entry-level jobs,
unreal.
There's a kid in a Cambodian village making 6 figures, taking clips from a live stream and posting them onto Twitter. Is that not insane? But what's even more insane is when that Harvard kid does land a job, how many years will they have to work to make the same amount of money that this guy did posting a video of a fireplace to YouTube? The way wealth is created these days is almost funny at this point. It'd be one thing if kids were just getting rich from the internet, but it's a whole nother thing when the traditional ways to get money aren't working anymore. So I want to talk about that, the old, but more importantly, the new, and how we can get involved in that. So the go to college method basically got patched. Forever college has been this big ass gatekeep on wealth. And for me, I'm not going to lie. I was 18 when I went to college, but I had the emotional intelligence and the maturity of about a 13-year-old. So I botched it. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life going in, and somehow even less of an idea coming out.
$10. It's called host clubs, the reverse situation, but it's only in Japan.
Oh, listen, boys. For the yellow fever, you can reverse the situation in Japan. Bo should be gaming us up with the knowledge that's of use. Holy shit.
But everyone knows if you're blessed enough to be able to go to college, you go. So you can get that entry-level job that then makes that tuition worth it.
Yeah, college is done for. There's a report on, was it a high school? I can't remember what school. Maybe not even high school, but there's a school that instituted AI into the curriculum heavily. And the kids started performing better than the top schools. So whether it was like a middle school, elementary, high school, I can't remember. But in the rankings, those kids started outperforming those kids in the top schools. Within 5 years, you have to imagine how quick we're advancing. Within 5 years, college is dead, dude. Unless you're going for a professional degree, like you need something in engineering or to pass the bar or, right, like think dentist, doctor. You need qualifications like that. Professional, it's over. It's over for college. You can literally have a chat GPT-like model at home that speaks to you in real time with real latency, like we saw with NVIDIA's model where that chick was like spazzing out. Yeah. You remember that? So that, but it's going to be much better in 5 years. They've already gotten really good. So 5 years from now, or if you have kids, let's just say everybody, you're going to have a kid right now. By the time that kid is like 6 years old, 5 years old, when they're ready to start learning something, dude, it's done. By the time that kid's like 13, 14, are you kidding me? Like college is dead. You don't need college. You won't need public school anymore. You will have an incredibly well-tuned curriculum that is responsive, like live, responsive to your kid's strengths and weaknesses. It's over. College is dead. The cost of college is dead. You won't need to save $250,000 to put your kids through school anymore. That's fucking over with. That's done.
You grind your way up. That's been the path for years, and it still is, but that path is no longer certain. It's no longer a layup. Software engineering, accounting, marketing, finance, the jobs college kids historically take are becoming automated, are becoming devalued. The fat is being trimmed, and that's why the stock market just keeps going up, despite how bad the economy feels. So now, all of a sudden, before we even get to the internet money, the jobs that can't be automated are becoming more valuable than the corporate jobs you go to college for, because they actually provide value. Fixing shit. AI can't fix a dishwasher yet, or, pipes. It can't drive a truck. But this generation is still in this weird spot where not going to college is crazy if you can, right? So a lot of heads are going to college just to go for the college experience, which,
building AI agents is fun as fuck. I 100% I've been tinkering with my own. I had Claude build me a trading bot essentially for crypto, and it's automatically trading. It built the entire algorithm for the bot for me, and it learns based off every trade and adjusts its trading style based on success rate. And it's actually crazy how much of this stuff can be one-shotted and how easy it is to run. And when I'm asleep, the bot does its thing. It's absolutely phenomenal, guys. Like, you need to get on this OpenClaw stuff. You need to start deploying your own agents. You can have them do so many things. You don't need an uber powerful machine unless you're trying to do crazy API pulls for like insane amounts of data or some big thinking kind of stuff. Very similar, or I should say very small, slow tasks, basic website scraping, pulls off Twitter, X, shit like that. Easy stuff that you can do on Mac minis, no problem. If you need something that's like more up-to-date, live, you have a ton of data streaming in real time, some pipelines, stuff like that. Okay, sure. You're going to need a much bigger machine, and you're probably going to have some API costs. But a lot of people are starting to run these models locally, especially the open source stuff. Was it Minimax 2.5, Quen, the latest Quen model? And those are operating where Opus 4.5 was at. Think about that. So in a couple of years, you're going to be able to deploy locally on a very small machine, nothing crazy, an incredibly powerful model that's like quantized to 2 bits, because right now they've already figured out how to quantize to 3 bits without losing. I think it maintained accuracy at 90-something%, so they had a breakthrough. Now imagine you quantize something to like 2 bits, less, and things become super efficient. Zero quality loss. Dude, you're going to be running on, like, your old computer will be able to run some of this shit. It's incredible, guys. If you're not learning about AI, dude, what the fuck are you even doing with life right now?
I know in America this is a crazy take. I didn't love it, to be honest. Like, COVID happened right in the middle of mine. I did have some fun, but overall it wasn't like this amazing thing that put me in a spot to win.
Host the bot?
I finished college. I think about the skills that I learned. Bro.
It wouldn't be any use to post the bot. We could do a call on how to deploy the bots and create them, but no, it hasn't made me money. I'm not like a multimillionaire. I'm tinkering right now. My bot is up 10 cents. He started with $100. I think he was down last night. Now he's up 10. So nothing has happened yet, but I'm learning how to deploy the bot, how to tweak its algos and all this shit. And yeah, it's a learning process. I'm just tinkering right now. There's people making hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars where their system is like obviously a lot more mature. I just started. I'm barely fucking around with this stuff. It's already like mind-blowing what you could do. There's a couple of videos that I've saved where guys have something like, yes, they could be prompt injected. I understand. There's a dude that has 2-3 hour, like in-depth how to use OpenClaw. And it's incredible, man. I mean, we'll talk about it when I get on Kick then. Yeah, let's just watch this and we'll go on Kick afterwards.
Like, what skills did my ass get in college? Like, all right, I can guzzle beers now. The college model is getting more and more outdated. I mean, think about it. Someone is in college right now learning how to use Excel, But hey, I got my degree, my little Excel skills, my little business management skills, and I got lucky enough to land an entry-level corporate job. And it's funny I say lucky enough as if it wasn't the...
Yeah, we'll watch it on Kick after this. We'll put on that 1.5 hour, whatever long it is video, and we'll talk about OpenClaw if you guys wanted to do that, if enough people want to do that. Because we're going to get on Kick and do a couple more of these exclusively, and then we can get on there if you want to learn some of the AI shit.
Darkest, worst, lowest point of my life. But this was the path. This is where it felt like everyone was pointing to, you know? And if you're like me, you weren't asking any questions, you were barely paying attention, this is where you'll end up. Little did I know, they were pointing my ass in the wrong direction. Because when I looked forward, it's like, okay, if I trade away my 20s, I'll get a decent enough salary in my 30s.
So let's say you're looking to put someone to work for free. I basically have all day free and had the past 20 years. Dude, start doing shit. Posting clips, edit highlights, whatever the fuck. Starting channels, social media accounts. I don't know. There's something you could do for yourself. And then if your shit is hitting, if you're clipping good clips, if you're blowing up your account, then yes, of course, we'll work together. You have all the time in the world. Work for yourself and then partner with somebody when you show some value, dude. Yes. Shout outs to Atlanta. Yeah, don't wait on me. We don't show initiative. Like, wow me, just pull up an email and be like, hey, bro, check this out. Boom, here's an account with like 100,000 subs. I blew this shit up and I want to work together. There you go.
30s. And if this job still exists by then, I'll be able to survive and make a decent enough living. Not enough to be free, not even close, but enough to survive. That's the path of certainty and has been for probably, 50 years at this point. The problem is that path itself isn't even certain anymore. Like I said earlier, a ton of the corporate slop is starting to get cut. And the way corporate America evolved is just crazy, man. It's like a cancer. It just keeps growing and growing. And I think we're finally reaching the stages where it can't continue to grow. Like I was in the bank yesterday. There was a table. It had construction tape all over it. There was this sign that said,
Business Solutions Planning In-Person Demo Experience coming soon.
I literally had to write it down. I couldn't believe it. I look at something like that and, I'm in this shitty little bank and I think about how probably 10 people making 6 figures a year probably worked on this quote project for like a few months, even though nobody asked for it, nobody's going to use it, and nobody even knows what it means. These are signs of the old path starting to disappear. And I want to be clear, it's like if you have one of these corporate jobs, I'm not saying that's bad at all, not even close actually. Hold on to it and keep cashing those checks. But these are signs of the old career path not changing with the times. While at the same time, some high school kid made a Fortnite map on his computer that is now generating hundreds of thousands of dollars of straight profit. Some chud made $3.8 million this year from a Roblox map that he made for fun. And it's like, wait, you guys didn't even have to suffer for this. It's the same with investing and crypto. It's like, I thought the whole thing was that we have to suffer to make that kind of money. And here people are making more than the kid who just graduated and just got hired at JP Morgan. He's about to work 80-hour work weeks, and he's getting out-earned by a chud on Roblox. So the idea of the things that we have to do to make money starts to get a little blurry. When the people working the hardest using the old method have less money than the people barely...
Yeah, the corporate pipeline's dead. Dude, if you think going to college, getting a degree, and coming out with a job, and you're going to do that shit until you retire, and you're going to be left with anything at all, you're out of your mind. It's already dead. The corporate world is dead. I'm telling you, it's professional degrees are bust. You have to make your own way in the world. Like having a job now is essentially a stepping stone until you figure out a side hustle that buys your freedom. That's it. This is like the real economy of the world right now in the West. You're working a dead-end job that will forever pay shit, and you're going to work there until you figure out a side hustle that helps you escape. That's your one shot in the dark. That's it, bro. That's what it is. There's nobody out here graduating with their fuck degree in business and going to make a ton of money, and your shit's gone. AI's coming for you first. Fuck your econ degree, your business degree, your history degree, all that other shit. It's over with. Everybody that I speak to is working dead-end ass jobs that don't do fucking shit, drain your soul, and everybody is looking, side hustling. Everybody's got these gigs on the side, teaching themselves whatever it is just to escape. just to escape. And hopefully it hits one day sooner than later, so you're not stuck going to that fucking soul-crushing job. That's what it is.
Working at all using the new one, you start asking questions. Because if you don't, you can end up doing everything that you were, quote, supposed to and end up in a worse spot than some kid who pressed a few buttons the right way. So the internet, despite all the terrible things that it's done, has leveled the playing field. Now, if you have a phone, you have a path to wealth. It doesn't mean that, that path is clear or easy, but...
Yeah, people are saying like AI slop is crap, but it is making people thousands of dollars, maybe millions. Yes, people are making millions of dollars on AI slop right now. I know personally, won't say his name in the private community. There's one guy that he actually deployed an AI model, female model, and makes videos. And I know multiple people that do this now, but makes videos, especially with the latest Kling 3.0 and access to the newest seed dance. There are multiple videos of a chick sitting in her car talking about that red pill cringe shit, saying things men want to hear, and she's beautiful and she's blonde or brunette or whatever, but she's nice, very attractive looking, and it has millions of impressions already. Millions, hundreds of thousands every single post. Instagram already with hundreds of thousands of followers. Nobody knows it's a dude. Nobody knows it's not even a person. It's all AI generated. Fully. Bro, and the continuity, the evolution is crazy. You start from one frame that you generated an image for, one frame. And the video keeps going. After the last frame of the video, it can take, and you have a 90-second clip of a beautiful woman in her car telling you why men should be valued and all this other shit, because he's a red pill dude. He knows, he understands the shit men want to hear, and he's collecting AdSense thousands a month. Thousands a month, bro. Thousands a month. He works for like 30 minutes a day. You don't even know it's happening. No, engineering will never die. Of course it won't. Engineering is very important, but engineering is not a history degree.
Shit, at least it's there. It won't be forever. Back in the day, our parents didn't see generational amounts of money as something that could be made. I mean, you could buy a plot of land, be like, yo, holy shit, there's oil on my land.
My AI Gen gal is crushing it on Simple SM. I can't keep up with sponsorships. Jesus. You see?
And, you could win the lottery. Like that was really the only way to come up on a crazy bag out of nowhere. But now we see what feels like every day generational amounts of money being made.
Also, there's another kind of AI slop. The one we talked about when I was walking around in my neighborhood in Arizona. It's the one where I showed you the clips. It's you sitting here, but then the overlay on your video turns into like the woman. And, and like every movement you do, everything with your hands, whatever, it turns into a girl. That's the other side of how to make videos. So you're sitting there talking, saying shit, and then you get your AI voice model to sound like a woman and just overlay that on what you said. Bro, it's fucking over. It's already been over. I've already seen the DMs. I've seen the comments and the messages on these accounts. You fucking simps are cooked out of your mind. You have no idea. The amount of fucking simpy DMs and the offers to send money and the please, you're so beautiful, I would marry you and change your life. It's fucking done. Jeez Louise. It's sad.
Minutes. And it's why I think it's important to take some of the advice that people who didn't grow up with the internet give you, especially career advice, with a grain of salt, right? A lot of advice is timeless. I'm a big believer in doing the shit that humans have been doing for centuries as opposed to like the shit that just came out a couple years ago. I keep telling the bros, if we want to survive, we got to just keep doing the shit they've been doing, whether that's reading, walking in nature, fucking playing chess, lighting fires and shit, like just basic human stuff. Because I think that there's a reason certain behaviors and advice survive, the test of time. But the internet has created new times. So now there's new ways to get rich, new ways to go broke, even new metrics of success. I look at the corporate ladder, for example, things like corporate awards, and could give less of a shit about a title, an award. These mean nothing to me. And I know a lot of people my age feel the same way. My parents, their parents cared about stuff like that, right? The problem is now we live in a value-based world, and I just don't see any value in things like that. I just don't. It's like during the Industrial Revolution, if a farmer tries to give advice to someone who just opened up a factory, some of it would be helpful, I'm sure, but I'd be like, dude, it's a whole new world out here, you farmer. There's certain things that I need to figure out on my own. Another way I like to think about it, it's like the oil of the past has been drilled, bro. So now there's new oil, and it's digital. And getting to this oil has nothing to do with intelligence, which is part of the reason that it's almost funny. It makes no sense, dude. There's kids who made 7 figures on fart coin. Is that kid smarter than the kid grinding his ass off in law school right now? Is the guy making 6 figures on history YouTube videos smarter than the history professor making half of that? No. But the playbook has...
Yeah, the old way, for example, I started day trading in high school. I sold my car my senior year. Bro, if I had access to this Claude shit, if I had access to an AI back then, oh my God, because I didn't know how to code. I knew automated trading was the way. I didn't know how to code a bot. The kind of shit that you're capable of doing, the amount of coding that you could do simply texting it what you want is incredible. The information is it's the most perfect assistant ever. You can ask it any question about anything. For if you don't know how to read a chart, if you don't know support, if you don't know, God, what is all resistance, support, volume, Ichimoku clouds or whatever the fuck and all anything, just ask it, bro. Hey, what is that? Hey, how do you read this? Hey, what's a candle? What's the open and the close? What is that? Dude, just go into the bot and say, I'm trying to learn this. I have 0 experience. Let's start from the beginning. And then ask me questions to make sure I understand fully. It will walk you through everything, hold your hand, and you will turn into a fucking expert at whatever topic you want. The gatekeeping of information is dead. Nobody gatekeeps information from you anymore. It's all available at your fingertips. That's like the most transformative part of all of this shit, is that all the world's knowledge ever is now at your fingertips, not behind a fucking paywall. So, dude, if you want to learn how to build a trading bot, just ask. Just ask. How do you build a trading bot that's effective and makes money? That's how retarded your question could be. Also, I want it to improve itself after every trade. Also, I'd like to code in something where it watches the markets and intakes data from MarketWatch. Also, I would like it to go on Reddit and all these other forums and get like a sentiment analysis from X2 to factor into the trading. Also, I would like it, and boom, and it just starts coding all that shit in there. All the variables you need. Fucking hell. That's just one, guys. That's just one of like a million different things you can do with these. You want to start a YouTube channel? It's the same shit. Never done YouTube. Want to start a YouTube channel? Here's my favorite YouTubers. Here's the information I have. Develop me a master plan, a comprehensive, step-by-step process of how to start this channel and get it to explode. Bro, what can I make my title for my videos? What are the topics trending right now? What's a pain point? What's getting the most views? Analyze this guy's YouTube channel. Holy fuck, what can you not do with these things? They're mind-blowing. I've been telling people about this shit for years, and then the fucking, like, knuckle draggers. AI is trash. It's overhyped. AI does nothing. It ain't gonna do shit. All right, dude. Enjoy being poor forever.
Changed. The old path, it was like put in the time for money. You work 8 hours, you get paid 8 hours. The way that the new wealth is being generated now, it's more like you do something once and it works for you forever. That's how people who are making the most money these days, it's leverage. It's value in a value-based world. And it sounds insanely simple, like, oh, just do things that are valuable, bro. But if you follow directions of society and you didn't ask any questions, there's a high chance you will end.
I use it for everything, Cam. Absolutely everything, like ideation. Here, you guys want to know? Just an example for guys, so you understand. I had AI analyze my channels plus the topics I talk about, all that stuff. And I said, make me a list of episodes of topics to cover. And I'm going to read some of them and you tell me if this sounds good or not. But we will cover these. Okay, so, and it broke it down by Legion of Men. And then the second channel, Borefic, where we do more, self-improvement and more positive content there, not just commentary. So, culture commentary. The feminization pipeline, how schools, media, and HR are engineering weaker men. Would you be interested in that? Number 2, why society celebrates women's independence but criminalizes men's. 3, the disposable male, how men are valued purely for utility, then discarded. Look at this shit. These are all episode ideas. 4, male spaces under siege from barbershops to boardrooms. Who's killing them? Wow, look at that. 5, the fatherless crisis. How absent dads created a generation of lost men. 6, how family courts are systematically destroying fatherhood. 7, raising sons in an anti-male culture, what every father needs to know. Why male suicide rates are skyrocketing and nobody's fixing it. I have hundreds of these. They're all good. None of these are like slop topic. MGTOW, freedom or self-imposed exile. Honest assessment. I think everybody would want one of these episodes to be fleshed out and we talk about it. Manufactured outrage, how media weaponizes your emotions for clicks. Toxic masculinity is a psyop. Weakness is what's actually toxic. The trad wife trend. Genuine movement or another social media grift. Don't we have so many of those? So many of those examples. And so I have them by sections, right? So I have culture commentary and exposés, dating market and sexual dynamics, masculinity and purpose, self-mastery. It goes on and on. Brotherhood and social dynamics, for example. Toxic bros, how bad friends keep good men down, when to cut ties. That's a good one that people don't often talk about. Why men need brotherhood more than therapy. Look at that. Money, career, financial warfare. So why 97% of men will never build real wealth? The 3 mistakes that are killing you. Bro, these are fucking insane. These are insane. This thing has done all this for me while I'm drinking a coffee. Porn is destroying your brain chemistry, the neuroscience of why you need to quit. That's for health, fitness, and hormonal optimization. Then we go to, I have a bunch of these, dude. Passport bros in international living, Eastern Europe versus Thailand, passport economics. How far 3,000 a month goes in Sofia versus Krakow versus Chiang Mai versus Chicago. These are all interesting, right? And then it has content format ideas. So it even gave me ideas of what we could do. Body language decode. Reaction videos to female podcasters getting it wrong about men. Q&A with you guys, answering the darkest questions that the community sent me. Debate format. Is monogamy dead or just evolving? With an expert guest. Listen to this. The Shit Test Encyclopedia. Subscriber profile reviews. Brutal, honest dating profile critiques from the community. Like, all these are great ideas. We could be doing these. Right? Then you have the secondary channel, Borefic, and all this shit. Right? The day you realize nobody's coming to save you. That's an episode example. Male invisibility. Why you became a ghost after 30. These are all like the silent male crisis. Escaping cope and escapism. Dating for the older man. Financial and career rebuilding. Dude, on and on it goes. There's like 30 pages of this shit. It's nonstop. I can scroll through. It's nonstop, you guys. It's insane to not get this in your life and have it optimized. We just had a call a couple of days ago in the private community, and one of our guys has an insane schedule. He's working like fucking 100-hour weeks, some crazy shit. And he's working 1 week on, like 1 week off scheduling, and he doesn't know how to time his workouts and exercises and all that shit because he's working brutal ass, like, what was it, 12 or 16 hours? Dude, he has an insane fucking schedule. And he asked AI for all that stuff. And you can say, I need you to optimize a workout plan for me on my week on versus my week off. On my week on, I can't work out because I'm literally at work every day, and I don't like to eat this food, and I don't like to do these workouts because I have this injury in my back and in my shoulder and in my knees, and I need the best workout that's going to give me the most gains, the most optimized for hypertrophy, and it will make your perfect diet and your perfect workout plan for your age and your injuries and your diet preferences, and you're ready to go. You could have paid some retard $100 for a diet plan. That's gone, not needed. You could have paid for some retard to train you at the gym for hundreds a month. Done, not needed. This shit is crazy.
End up like I did at a job with zero.
Stop goying it down and goy up already. 2026, you're the goys, all right? You got to be a top goy. Cut it out.
Value. It's like, what did I learn at my old job? Excel? Is that a joke? That is a skill with zero value in this world. So, you know, if you're like me, you're probably asking, if this new way of making money is so good, why wouldn't everyone be using it? A huge reason is simple. It's because of uncertainty. As humans, we're naturally comfortable with certainty, naturally uncomfortable with uncertainty. So the gatekeep before was college. The gatekeep now is uncertainty. If it wasn't for uncertainty, I would have started my YouTube channel 10 years ago. You know, that's what I really wanted to. If it wasn't for uncertainty in 2016, when I knew that Bitcoin was valuable, I would have held on to it. The difference is now the old way of doing things, going to college, getting a corporate job, that's becoming uncertain on its own. So now it's like, what is there to lose? For example, if you look at someone like Aiden Ross, by all means, this kid is a dumbass. I mean, I think it's part of his image, actually, to come off as a dumbass.
What does a fascist mean?
What does a fascist mean?
It means you are
your mortal enemy.
Far right authorization.
Regardless how you feel about him, he's an example of someone who used this new playbook perfectly. Any of these streamers, to be honest, like attention is a huge part of this, because as our attention spans get more and more shot, attention itself becomes more and more valuable. And that's a big part of the reason that the way that wealth is being created
How is YouTube featured?
Is so insane right now. You look at these Twitch streamers, dude, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. So you see success like that and how ridiculous it is that every time they turn on the camera, they make someone's yearly salary, right? But what you don't see is how much advice they probably had to ignore to get to that point, right? How many people probably called them stupid or cringe for doing what they were doing. And I don't think that's going to be the case for much longer. Like, I think of the two things personally that I've gotten the most shit for doing. The first was the amount of people, old and young, that called me dumb for putting what I did into crypto when I did, right? The second being the amount of people that thought it was weird or cringe that I started a YouTube channel, you know, started sharing my personal life on the internet. Those two things alone ended up being some of the better moves I've made as an adult so far. They both gave me leverage. It had nothing to do with my college education, right? And I'm not saying quit your job and become a streamer or dump all your money into crypto. No. I'm saying recognize that the things people will call you stupid for trying will be the same things that they'll call you lucky for if it works in the future.
That's so
and right
factual,
now,
dude.
Shit is working.
Holy fuck. That is the most factual thing you'll ever hear. Everybody loves to doubt and to hate when you have a little idea, it's a little seedling, and you talk about what you want to do. Nah, that shit's stupid, bro. Nah, you just sit there and make YouTube videos. That shit's stupid. You ain't gonna succeed doing that. And then you're making tens of thousands of dollars a month, and then it's like, you're so lucky. You had the luck. You just, that's not even a real job. And you just, well, fucking real money's coming in the bank account. It ain't pretend dollars, bro. It's not Monopoly money hitting my shit every month. So it's like, you know what I mean? You get behind a camera and just record some shit, motherfucker. You get some freedom. It's not hard. It isn't hard. You're right on that. But I'm telling you, this shit ain't Monopoly money. You don't got a real job. When I was just starting off, they're like, you got 5 views, bro. You really sure you want to do this? You're really sure? And I was one of them. Actually, I was 2 of them on my own phone and my computer. Yep. And then it worked.
That's never worked before. Millions of dollars on Roblox. $1.5 million from a fireplace video on YouTube. If you have a good idea, you can make it a reality. You don't need millions of dollars. You don't need software engineers anymore. All you need to do now is to be able to write prompts well into Claude. AI, the internet, it has pretty much lowered every barrier to entry that there is, including college. And this applies to anyone in any field. That's why I feel like it's so important to recognize. Chess is a great example to prove my point. Past few weeks, my weird new thing, instead of...
Yeah, dude, listen. I went from, look, working construction, some of the worst fucking jobs ever. Stucco especially, as a mason, you know, you're covered in cement, dust, paint, fucking bits of chemicals that are probably burning your skin and killing your lungs and all this shit. I went through that working outside, you know, at the mercy of the elements. And now I sit in a room, and the most annoying thing about it is these two fucking lights that are blinding me. And sometimes I just put on glasses and it's tight and I chill on the internet. And all it was an idea of maybe I should share what's in my head. That's all it is. What if you sound like a retard? Oh, well, I'm retarded. I am retarded. I don't know everything. There's a lot I don't know. The more I know, or if I feel like I'm learning, the dumber I feel. It's fine, dude. You're never going to be perfect. Sure, you sound like an idiot sometimes. You mispronounce stuff. You say, you forget what you're talking about mid-sentence. It happens, bro. Dementia, it's sitting in. It's all good. No problemo. But I get to sit here and share with some guys and maybe make a difference, change somebody's life here and there. I've gotten enough information from people through email, private community that I've made a difference. And that's all enough. It's enough. That's good. And it's nice you get paid on top. And you get paid handsomely. You can make $1,000 in a day easily doing this shit. Okay? As opposed to me busting my ass to a whole week to make that. Under the sun. Everything is a stepping stone, bro. Your job ultimately should be used as a stepping stone to the shit you really dream of doing, your side hustle. Now, I don't know when that shit is going to succeed. It just depends on the amount of time and effort you put in. That's the magic sauce. It's time plus effort equals success. Some guys put in a ton of time into something with very little effort. I've said this before. Or other guys, a ton of effort, but not enough time. You need a balance in the ingredients for the fucking concoction to work, for it to be successful. Time and effort in enough amounts equals success. That's it. I put in max effort, max time into this shit. It's inevitable that it was going to work. You don't get to post 6 full videos every day on YouTube for weeks on end and they don't hit. You don't get to build a professional studio with those red chairs, if you remember back in the day, and co-host and talk about topics 6 fucking episodes every day of the week, nonstop, and you don't think one video is going to hit? We had 2 subscribers, bro, with like $20,000 worth of cameras, equipment, and fucking microphones. It is inevitable. Yeah, it's inevitable. Anything in life, you do it at that extreme, obsessed level, it will work, dude. It's just, think about what's holding you back. It's your own mind, your own doubt. That's it. You think you can't succeed. You think you're going to fail. You think you're an idiot. You think you look stupid. You think nobody wants to hear what you got to say. You're afraid to be a newbie at something again. And what's the alternative, though? Have you ever asked yourself, like, the alternative is you do the job in the sun that you hate doing, changing out 10 shirts. Your fucking hands are cracked from cement. Your skin is literally peeling and bleeding. Yeah, you break your back for a couple thousand. That's the alternative. I'm afraid to go on the internet and look like a retard in a digital economy. That's more important than ever before. The pipeline to school, college, and job and retirement's dead. The corporate world doesn't exist. And you're telling me that you would risk it out there in the old way, as opposed to just trying something with content? You don't even have to be in the content, bro. You could just clip shit, edit it, and post it. There's clippers making $20,000, $30,000 a month. There's people reposting clips of other people making money. This shit is crazy. You don't even have to show your face. With the advent of AI, you could pretend to be someone. You could have an avatar. There are VTubers. I learned about VTubers not too long ago. There are people that look like a peanut. Across my X timeline, there's some fucking guy. He's a peanut, bro. Some peanut dude is making hella money. Shit is wild.
Doom scrolling is ripping a little chess. I'm kind of getting addicted. I don't know what's good with that or how long that'll last, but I live in a world where I can listen to the best chess player in the world give away some of his sauce, and all of a sudden, I know all this shit about chess. And the same goes for something like, content creation or investing. You ask a boomer.
Yeah, you have to go to the part of the economy that sees value in that kind of work. The economy no longer values the 9-to-5 grind at the corporate office. That's done for, dude. The only people left there are the women that are essentially in daycare. That's it. Those jobs are going to go away. You have to go to where the economy is pointing at, value-wise. And that is content. It is what it is. It's not fair. Our teachers should be getting paid a lot. Our engineers, the guys digging the ditches, putting up the power lines. Like, yeah, dude, but that's not reality. Reality is some retard clipping shit is making 20 grand a year. Reality is you laying fucking electrical wire isn't. We need the electrical wire, guys. But we're not going to pretend. We're not going to fucking pretend that we don't see the reality. Yeah, it's not doom and gloom. It's just you have to be adaptable as a man. Being adaptable means going into the more profitable parts of the current economy today. That's it. We should be rewarding hard work and all that stuff. We don't. We don't, dude. We give professional footballers and basketball players and all this shit millions of dollars to throw a ball in a hoop. It's the gayest shit ever. They have zero fucking value for the actual infrastructure of society, right? But society values entertainment. So they get the millions to do fucking nothing. It is what it is. I wasn't making millions building up Atlanta, building Starbucks, working on public schools, renovating hotels. I was building the infrastructure in my city. I was working for the government. I was working for businesses, working for the people. That doesn't reward you. I made almost nothing from that fucking business because after paying the workers and, all the fucking material costs, labor costs, all the other business costs, your margins shrink. And then you find out it's bullshit. And now I have another business that has like zero margin. This is zero fucking margin practically. It's insane. Yeah, we live in bizarro world. Take advantage of it. These guys that are like purity spiraling online, they're like, you don't have a real job. You don't break your back like me in a real job. I fucking dug 40 ditches yesterday. I can't feel my fucking C3. My L2 is completely discombobulated. I need to go get a shot in my ass just to sleep. Shut up, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? You're willingly destroying your body for what? And you're trying to purity spiral on people? It ain't a real man's work. Enjoy going to the grave early. Because I don't want to. The fuck?
How to invest. They'll be like, index funds, slow and steady returns, which is smart, by the way. And I actually listened to that advice.
Goy slaves,
but they grew up in a time where the craziest performance you could see from a single company, a single stock, would be like McDonald's or some shit, right? Where you had to go to school to make money investing. But now, if you have a phone, like if last year you thought to yourself, once AI video generation becomes mainstream, it's going to take a ton of computing power. So what are the top computing storage companies right now? What do those stocks look like? That thought process has nothing to do with going to school. It's just logical thinking. So what happens a year later, those stocks are up 1,000% year over year. So obviously this is easier said than done.
Fucking
but the point is,
SanDisk,
you don't need to be a
missed
finance bro to get in on the action anymore. You don't need to go to school, to entertain people. All you need now is a phone, a brain, and a pulse on the internet. And I think that's kind of dope. Because if you're watching this video, chances are you have all three of those. So whether it's making content, investing, starting an app, you know where the value is and isn't. That's the benefit of growing up in this value-first world. And if you haven't taken that first step, there's a chance it's because you're scared of the cursed word cringe. The cringe thing is like a psyop, I swear, because if you can get over this fear of being perceived as cringe in this era, your chances of winning in anything that you do triples. And I used to really struggle with this, and I used to call everything cringe. I feel like the best way to kill that mindset for me was just realizing nothing will be more cringe than not living the life that I could be living because of someone else's opinion. Like, what do I have to lose that could be worse than that? This fear of cringe, I swear there's so many people out there that would be billionaires by now if they didn't have this fear of other people's opinion. And in my opinion, I think that's...
Yeah, it's highly likely that one of you in here could have been making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. One of you watching this video or watching it later when it's reposted, you could have been making millions of dollars, but you stopped yourself because you're afraid you would look cringy because of what other people thought. Bro, doesn't that get you fucking angry? That's crazy.
It's a big reason people hesitate to try shit on the internet, even though we're in like this gold rush of creating opportunities right now. And what comes with all these new opportunities is a bunch of new traps to fall into, which you have to be really careful about. It's like back in the day, if you saved up all your money to open up a DVD store just to get mogged by Blockbuster a year later, history doesn't remember that. History remembers all the people that ran up a bag during the San Francisco gold rush, not the ones who sold all their shit, moved to San Francisco just to Colmax, just to get nothing. So now there's bad investments, there's gambling, there's prediction markets, there's crypto scams, even a stupid app idea. Like a few years ago, if you had a stupid app idea, you were just a guy with another stupid app idea. Now you can actually make that stupid app. So you can waste a ton of time, energy, and money doing.
You can code some crazy shit, dude. I read somebody in the comments, somebody coded apps already for like mental health and some shit like that. Dude, you can code crazy shit today. And it's deployable. They work.
Doing that. It's the Spider-Man quote, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. I think that was started in Spider-Man. I hope so. But you have to be careful of all these things that are designed to make you feel like you're taking advantage of the internet, like you're running this new playbook that's working for other people. Like, don't even get me started on gambling, on prediction markets. They are running the new method on you. You are not going to get rich off a parlay, dude. Like, have you ever once heard of someone who actually...
As someone said, are we going to war soon? You're thinking of it the wrong way. Whether we go to war or not, how do you profit? Because that's what they're thinking at the top. Are you looking into oil? Are you looking into precious metals? What happens if they close the strait? How much oil goes through that strait? Did you know it's 20% of global supply? What is that going to do for trade? So if the U.S. were to bomb Iran and then have a protracted engagement where they're targeting the higher, what do you think that will do to the markets, and which markets and which stocks? And what's going to happen to the defense companies? Bro, you can position yourself to win right now. Don't be a sheep that's just afraid.
Won anything long-term gambling. Even the people that win the lotto, they end up roping. If you could actually win from this, they wouldn't be spending billions of dollars trying to get you to sign up and start playing. And investing, it's the same. For every company, for every crypto coin that...
Yeah, and it's not like, you know, how to make money off X conflict. It's not even like a moral right or wrong. You can't do anything. Like, none of us, well, we don't have the presidency here. You're not going to go over there and call fucking Trump and be like, hey, bro, don't bomb Iran and kill like innocent people. It's happening whether you want it or not. So are you going to get into a position to strengthen yourself financially to help people around you, your friends and your family? Yeah, that moral shit is for the losers. No offense, but the people at the top have zero morals. They don't give a fuck, which is why they keep winning. Dude, they're protecting the Epstein files. They're protecting predators. You think these morally scrupulous people give a fuck that they're going to make millions of dollars on the price of oil shooting up? Or whatever else that they're investing in, precious metals, or whatever else the sanctions are going to hit? Who knows? You're either going to be literally a victim, or you're going to come out smartly ahead of all this. I'm taking pages of notes for the past 20 minutes now. Good for you, dude. Good. Yeah, money is like cars now. It loses half of its value as soon as you get it. That's a fact. Yeah, dude. Fucking bars. All right, boys, we're moving over to Kick. If you want to see the rest of the stream, it's always going to be fully on Kick. And we might cover some bot stuff. Depends. We'll see later on. We'll go on some other stuff here. Let me post it in the YouTube chat for the boys that want to migrate over. Please do, and subscribe. Why are you not on Kick and subscribe, guys? Jesus. Get your asses moving. Goy up already. You're on YouTube going down. cannot believe this. My own people. It'd be your own people going down on you. We're trying to ascend in 2026. You're going down on me. Shouts out to the new Top Goy mugs. Look at this. Look, look, look. God, these are great. Poison over with. We drank all the poison. Let's finish the last of the blue poison. Welcome in. Welcome in to Kick, everybody. Starting from here on, whipping out the notepad every stream. Yeah, you see this is going down, but it's okay. We're working on it. Going down lightly. What are the chances former Prince Andrew tells everything now? Nothing. He's going to get a slap on the wrist. Yeah, quite literally. I don't expect shit to happen. A lot of them are just resigning, and then that's all you'll hear about it. A position loss is the worst that they're going to get, and they move on with their lives after diddling kids. Holy shit. Trying to get a job in 2026 is a humiliation ritual, bro. We're doing that next. Goiterade. Dude, that gives me an idea. I need to start a drink company called Goiterade. Holy fuck, dude, that's great. Drinking Goiterade. Fucking hell. Yeah, I'm seeing how long that video is for the open claw stuff. If you guys wanted to watch that. Are we going to be deleting the comments? No, that's the auto goy mod. Yeah, I don't know why. You're gonna start it first, and I can't copyright you. Okay, Goiterade. Holy shit. Hey, but the cut is going really well, guys. Yeah, I'm not even joking. Like, the full protocol will be available in the private community of everything I'm currently experimenting with. I'm on peptides and some other stuff. But let me tell you, dieting has never been this easy. Especially for a dude like me. I'm 36, so this shit is gonna be fire by the time I'm finished. I think I'm maybe 2 weeks into this shit, 3 weeks. I don't even fucking know. I'm not even keeping track. Goy maxing. Yes, definitely. So that video about the open claw, okay, one is 32 minutes. There was one that was like 3 hours long. Let me see. Yeah, see, so this one is titled How My Open Claw Agent Larry Got Me Millions of TikTok Views in 1 Week, Full Step-by-Step Guide. For example, so this guy, and he got 7 million impressions. It's an article on X, and he just literally is now he's printing dollars from one agent. Crazy. Let's see, what else? I'm trying to find that guide. Here we go. Actually, it's 25 minutes. 27 minutes. Not even that long. There you go. Maybe on the next stream we'll cover that one, yeah. Is it possible to drop this video in a Notebook LM and learn from it? Yeah. Can you drop videos in Notebook LM? I know I drop a bunch of text in Notebook LM. I don't know if Notebook LM intakes videos now, does it? If it does, then of course you could. Yeah. I like the podcast feature on there. Yeah, the transcript is needed. Okay. I figured. Dude, Notebook LM is the way I do books and anything like that right now. And I put it on the podcast mode. Interactive podcast mode, by the way, where I speak to them. Which is also another mind-blowing feature. That keeps it just keeps getting better. All right, guys. See you later, YouTube fam. Or hold on. Are we freezing on Frozen Solar Flare? Let's see what's happening over on Kick. If it's down, we're just going to come back on Kick. It's fine. Lagging. All right. We'll turn off YouTube and see. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys, over on YouTube. We'll see you on Kick.